So, what am I saying? I'm talking about how to raise your boys to know how to respect women by respecting your wife. Simple. If I'm put out, no, sweetie, relax. Do you want us to buy takeaways or should I cook? Simple. Or home, I'm not threatened by taking care of myself. The Bible says a man who knows how to take care of his body knows how to take care of his wife. So I'm not threatened to stand up and cook. And by pizza, no, I continue. Because I know that I'm taking care of my own. Are we together? So, raising boys or raising future men is becoming a model, not a display. But that one should be display. You are there, but you're not there. Because display cannot say anything, it's just sitting there and doing nothing. And everybody should be running around. So what am I saying? You know, when I discovered the reality that man is a spirit, but they live in different bodies. I live in a male body, she lives in a female body, but we are equal. We are spirits. It sort of changed my mind to look at her as a God and treat her as a God. Hello? You know, I don't care how much you go to church, worship team, but if you disrespect your wife, you are disrespecting God. I don't care. You can say nice things. I can preach here and people cry, but if I disrespect this woman, I'm disrespecting God. That's how I got a turnaround in my life. I get jolly because of I'm not handsome. No. And I get jolly because of I get konemo charma. Or hey, no. And I get jolly because of I don't see beautiful. I travel. And I see beautiful women. And I give a fairy for one reason and one reason only. I live in another God in my house. And I'm not going to do anything that is going to hurt God by hurting Panti. And I told her, I said that if you prepared forgiveness, nonsense, I have already forgiven that. When we sit down and talk is to discuss way forward. Then I'm living up to my word, Panti. I'm not making up stories here. My wife is here. Are we together? So, we have to come to a point whereby, as men, I'm talking to men now, we should know how to manage our emotions. Because if we can't manage emotions, emotions will manage us. Listen, there's no way, they'll tell you. There's no way you can get driver somebody and cut her off or half it and cut a middle finger, but when I get to Moto's teeth talking about Rohana, no. I understand that that person has a disability somewhere. And if that person is disabled, I'm also disabled. Hello? When you drive into a mall and you find a parking demarcated for people with disabilities, and then parking lot, a car comes, a carry wheelchair on top, what do you do? What's the moral thing to do? Is to pass. You just pass. But if your wheelchair you'll fight for that spot because you are both disabled. So every time you find yourself fighting with a particular person for a particular thing, both of you are crippled. Are we together? So the issue of gender-based violence is issues of emotions. Look at road rages. Then hello. You are angry at your wife. Then you want to be angry and fight with us on the road. Because of you could not negotiate for sex. You could not lure your wife or seduce your wife into making love to her because you are lazy. What am I saying if I say people are lazy? You are lazy to be creative. God is a creator. He created us to become creative as well. But now, when I get started as one, ever say 18 years in marriage, one style, let me say you are sitting, why is nothing to talk about? You are lazy. You stop being creative. For every marriage to be romantic and successful and joyful, you have to be both creative. But laziness causes people not to be creative. But when I was not at a restaurant and cook a nice meal, Imama want to make a rest in your house. I got on a petrol. Buy candles. You show liter petrol 16 rand on a van. Get us the very well. 5 rand or 6 rand. Buy 2 candles, chew mamol. Cook a meal. Buy a bottle of cheap, buy a wine. Then play soft music. But because of you have not done this for a long time, you might be shocked or you get us say that be creative. A lot of us are lazy to even exercise. And you know how sex is physical again. Hello, talk to me now. Listen, I'm from Egypt. You guys are from Jerusalem. You've been anointed and sex is very physical. You have to be fit to do it. And people are not fit and they want to have sex. And then has no starter halfway. Was started to mobile phone or somebody about it because of you can't finish what you have started. I know I can follow the notes, but I'm following what I'm feeling now. I'm sharing from my heart now. So, if you are not happy with your wife sexually, it will also come into the kids. Because of your anger will spill over them. So make sure that as a married person, you exercise. You stay fit. So that when Bar or Max gets set, you know that you will finish the race. Women hate sex because of they don't reach orgasm. Can I repeat myself? Women hate sex because of they don't reach orgasm. Listen, it's my duty to make love to my wife, but it's her responsibility to reach orgasm. She must know where to touch or where to tell me to touch. Hello? Somebody can say my back is itching. You can scratch the wrong place for the whole night and sweat and send messages to your brothers to say, tonight, there's a booyah, can't you, we're doing a wrong thing. And the next thing, tomorrow when you touch us, they say no. Because of you did not achieve the goal. So let's not be selfish in marriage. As long as Nagifi kill everybody's fine. No, that's selfishness. Are we together? Make sure that the other person is happy as well. And we could our feet, don't even start. Go start to do your exercises. Am I helping somebody here? Yes. Learn to be physically fit. Number 2, emotional intelligence. There are some things you don't need to fight for. There are battles that are not worth your fighting. Why put so much energy for fighting for color hempe or no nagar keeping a rose? And then you are fighting over that. Simply because of Makanaroka, keeping shut up. So will it change our marriage? Will it make it better because you win the color hempena? So people win arguments and battles while they lose their spouses in the process. So I've grown up. I've learned not to argue for certain things. If Pantier Hempege rose gold, Nagar get pink. Get you a panty and not a strong convince her say or pink. Only nna ke nna le phanti ha re ke rose gold napa ke le lena le seo but ke itse ke mo nna ke le phanti ka rose gold until a o botsa ke motho wa mo believer hore ha ke pink then ha tla mpotsa ke hatsa tshwantse re check amaga then I still have my wife, I still have my marriage. Ara lo sa ke khala. Are we together? So how are we going to solve this gender-based violence issue? Self-awareness. Are you aware of yourself? Who are you without clothes, without cars, without houses? Who are you?
Yeah.
Without the titles, because some people say, "Man, doctor." No, without a doctor, who are you? No, then who are you? Who are you? So you need to remove these things and find yourself. Because the day you find yourself, you'll discover who you are.
Sure.
Some people might say, I'm a nice person. No, you are not a nice person. I normally say to people, get married. Get married. Then the other person is going to expose things in you. That's the beauty of arguments, or what do you call conflicts. Conflicts are there to expose you to you. You thought you were this nice person, get married, and then then you start to notice, or yes, no, now I'm short-tempered. No, I thought I'm cool. No, I'm short-tempered. Marriage is there to test you. Get married. Now, you know, when we do the premarital counseling, you know, people come and sit in front of us. It's going to vote. If anybody tries to get in between us, we are going to kill him. Oh, okay. 1 year later, they come back, they want to kill each other now. Because now they have exposed you to you.
Yeah.
You did not know who you are.
Yeah.
Until you get into this thing called marriage. Remember, marriage is so beautiful, but because of, are we still good?
Yes.
Because of this beautiful institution. Are we together? So, I like what you said. Before you enter, do a research about yourself. Do serious introspection. Do a SWOT analysis. What are your strengths as a person?
Yeah.
What are your weaknesses?
Yeah.
What are your traumas? Where you come from? What is again?
Yeah.
Don't bring that in here. Because let me tell you, if you were hurt by a man, when you get married, the only male figure that you have is your spouse.
Yes.
And now he's going to suffer for all of them.
Yes.
Because one mistake, I feel like James told me so. This is how this thing starts. I know them, I've been there. So you bring an old experience into a new relationship. You find a good husband, an innocent husband, but your reference is from the past. One of our conflicts with my wife when we were in this thing called marriage, when it started, was that she was looking for a father. And at that time I was still a young man. I have never fathered anybody. Why? Because of the father ran away. So when she found me, she saw, my goodness, finally I found a man. Here's a father. Okay? So as we were fighting over and over, I discovered that no. This woman is looking for something that I don't have. Then Kamaloka Sudi, what you are looking for? What a social Nando's KFC, you won't find it. It's not there. What you are looking, I don't have it. I'm just a young person like you, trying to be a man, not even a husband, because we were still young. Kantinale 18 years old, right? And how old? So I'm going to invite you to Nuaniang. Because of Chile, niggas fancy young hater, last minute, a pull up hand. Hey, heard me last minute. I'm going to try to give Miss Patty, not a party. A party, let's do a party, give you let them take a shot at Miss Patty or our panties. So, there's no way that Rohelam Panty has been there for me. And I get time last minute she was there. During the time that we were both unemployed, there was a time we had 4 years of unemployment. 4, not 4 months, 4 years of unemployment. She used to work for the casino. Now asakhona wena casino. Now I used to steal cars, I can't steal cars anymore. I can't do that. Now re bazala ne ba di tlaela di thuka mo nona di. And another car of avocado mo ne re nna mo teng. That avocado tsetsa gima tse o ja e one ka glass of metsi mo tsatsi la wena. And she stayed for the chila tse tsotlhe tse. She stayed pantsas na di phetse a nna ka mo lenyalo. Ka mo tsa the power tseng ya go eno ngwana ba. E tla he ho ba shapo ke tla o bitsa ka itse go hene ke go maloma ka ba tlhango teng for mahadi ya hae ke tla o lata no sweet. We are in this thing together. She stayed. And now somebody level a finished product. I itse go e tlhango teng. I want this. Then hero for recipe. This is how you get here. No. Again nyake.
Yeah.
People want to eat the cake, but when you give them the recipe, abanyake recipe.
Yeah.
They just want the cake, a ready-made cake.
Yeah.
Are we together?
Yeah.
So I can respect this woman. I've learned a lot from Pani. I've learned so much from this woman. And now, I can't exchange this relationship for any other thing. There's nothing in between this relationship. Are we together? I don't care who yes, I'm a man. Against fofu, ibile, again, Jamakan Plas, Matamon, Namuna, and Plecun Lim Jessa Para, Sato Hill, so in one Naganalama I can see. But I still choose to say I will not swap this or exchange this for any other thing.
Yeah.
Are we together?
Yeah.
So, marriages are hard work. Relationships are challenging. They don't just happen the way we want. And then we want to make this thing to become one. That's what the problem is. And until you become patient, you learn wisdom. And you start to, people are looking for happiness, but they're not looking for growth.
Yeah.
They just want to be happy. But when they're supposed to grow, they don't want that. It's hard to grow. It's hard to build than to destroy. This beautiful all. Within a few hours. But to build this thing, it requires the architects. It requires people who have skills, who are smart to build this thing. So that's what marriage is. Marriage requires people who will develop their skills and their smartness to build something like this. It's only in marriage where you can overlook offense. In marriage, you can do that. But if when you have a big heart to keep grudges, I can promise you are heading for a brick wall. The greatest hurts, but the greatest joy that I've ever found, they're also in marriage.
Yeah.
So you weigh your options. How far am I willing to go with this? We talk about physical abuse. Study proves. We attended a course, Nalipanti. When was it? Labon. Where they taught us, an emotional pain is 9 times a physical pain.
Yes.
9 times. Ooh, I was shocked. 9 times. Blue eye. And somebody was on the bed. 9 times painful than the feast they were feeling you. I was shocked. If I'm hurting you somewhere, somehow, emotionally, please tell me. Because you are bleeding, like you were saying. Yeah. The part in the brain that addresses pain, that interrogates pain, E1, where physical and emotional pain happens, is the same space in the brain. So I eat over about betile or about. So some people can say, we were saying people get sick, physically sick because of their emotionally abused. Because the brain interprets all that pain, and then there's no way out except milling. That's why people are stressed. That's why they get depression, they are sick. The migraine headaches, every time when they go to the filling station buying a loaf of bread, because of people are sick. And it's because of emotions. People are emotionally abused. And as men and women, we need to stop that. And how do we stop it? By asking ourselves questions. Are you good? Can you give some point? Joe, happy kamalanyano. Osentolo right kamalanyano. Regatso lana. And she would ask me the same question. And if you come then we move on. And our turn the could be. Because one of the challenges telling you grudges. People hold grudges. You try to open up and be honest. This is what I did. I forgive it genuine. Then everything we because of you are not willing to give somebody that hand their grace or change. But we are not believe or feel the grace or change. No, that's hypocrisy. That's hypocrisy. So what am I saying this evening? I know I was supposed to address some issues and I had my slides, but please go power my link, my love. I felt I need to say what I've said because of these are the challenges that we are facing on a daily basis. Daily basis, motuna meter Rolls Royce la dikeledi. Motoka mara mention 100 million, but still they are crying tears because of they are not willing to sit and talk. The challenge that we have as couples, the only time we don't have time to sit and have decent conversations to say, sweetie, where are we going in life? 5-year plan how he guide. No. And how do you know get for next month? 5-year plan. Hello. So let's learn to have decent conversations where we sit and talk. The thing like phone. What am I saying? Learn to build your marriage. Learn to have decent conversations where you're not fighting, but you're asking each other questions about your life. You know the challenge of life, God, life is life. I rehearse him. I wrote what I don't know we got it right now. No, this is life, it's happening. I shoot it's life. So let's learn to sit and talk. Ask ourselves difficult questions. Difficult questions. Last time I had a challenge in my health. And I woke up in the morning and my heart was doctor. Why is it going fear much on a panty? Karasudiki, Nahani, Arakana Hanasilona Hani. Or the Tabatata. If Munoa Feta, what's going to happen? Let's learn to open up difficult conversations.
Yeah. Yes.
Difficult conversations. If you die, what's going to happen? If you go, I remember 6 years back, so the level is going to get again. I all of this at home. Lake, away, and go in. All in a little nigga meets you, what are the conversations there? And not that we are preparing to leave, but in case it happens, what's going to happen? The policies, are they in place? Basadi ba sokola sino monna tlhokofala na wa letso monna ba mosotho a tlhokofala bola ke mosadi ke you know that. Let me explain it to you, my dear. Black men don't die, they are killed by women, their own wives. The black man does not die, he's killed by the wife. And after the man dies, what's going to happen to the wife and the kids? We need to open those doors. And when the stag is taking, we're still fighting over Colgate, the toilet paper. So we can't move. I have 15 years experience in marriage. Ara 1 year repeated 15 times. Why? Because they're still fighting for the issues that 1 year married old people. You know, Colgate, another 1 year. It's not 30 years, 1 year, 30 times. You know, I'm to share it. Why? What are she saying? Then we try to go to the other one, I don't get outside. No. Into a man. Whose house is that? It's your house. Take care of it if your wife is not there. What if she becomes a cripple? Then what's going to happen? You are going to live in a dirty house for the rest of your life? No. So learn to stand out of yourself and forget about your male or your female. Look at each other as gods. And what can we do as gods to make this thing a reality? May God bless you.